Skylar Faith. What episode are we on tonight?
Episode 46.
That can't be true. Is it? It is. Wonderful.
Friday night, I'm going nowhere. All the lights are changing, green to red. Turning over TV stations, situations running through my head. Oh, looking back through time, oh, it's clear that I've been blind. I've been a fool to open up my heart to all that jealousy, that bitterness, that ridicule. Well, if you want it, come and get it, for crying out loud. The love that I was giving you was never ended. Let go your heart, let go your head, and feel it. Let go your heart, let go your head, and feel Saturday, I'm running wild, all the lights are changing, red to green. Moving through the crowds, I'm rushing chemicals, rushing through my bloodstream. I only wish that you were here. You know I'm seeing it so clear. I've been afraid to tell you how I really feel. Forgive me for some of those mistakes that I made. Well, if you want it, come and get it, for crying out loud. The love that I was giving you was never written down. Let go of your heart, let go of your head, and feel it. Let go of your heart, let go of your head, and feel it. Well, if you want it, come and get it, for crying out loud. The love that I was giving you was never, never, never ended. Let go of your heart, let go of your head, and feel it. Let go of your heart, let go of your head, and feel
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Audience is on the clapping. You're just always like right there. You just eat a few like goldfish or Cheez-Its really loudly, and then you're just ready. You wipe your hands off, and you're ready to clap. You are a great audience. Audience of one. Woo! Oh, it's an encore. It's
Wow.
not let go it. No kidding. David Gray, Babylon. Hi. Happy 40, 47, 6,
Six.
14th, what?
46.
46th episode. Happy 46th episode. What is going on? 46 we've done. That was a little David Gray off of the White Ladder. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I was thinking a lot about San Diego, where I used to live, and how big Cinco de Mayo is in San Diego, how we celebrate through music and festivities and Old Town and honoring, but also appreciating the culture and the art, which is such a huge part of Southern California. But you just go to school in San Diego and you just sort of remember that. And so I was thinking, even though I know some incredible mariachi artists, many of whom are friends on Facebook, and I should tune you into their music because it's amazing, amazing. I was thinking that when I was in San Diego, one of the CDs that played constantly in my brain was that CD, and I thought, I haven't covered Babylon in so long, and I love David Gray and I love his music, and so I was just in that kind of vibe today, and I thought I would play it 2 seconds before we started. You know that CD, I think. I don't know, you can check me on this. Fact check. Was that, I think the CD, he released it first by himself, and it kind of didn't go anywhere, in like 98. I'm almost sure this is correct. And I think it was re-released a year or 2 later on Dave Matthews' label. And then, pa-chang, there it is. He was like if you don't know who David Gray is, to me, he's like the original, who's the guy I love that sings the stuff with the looping and the, with the red hair that I love. Come on, somebody think of it. Who am I thinking of?
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Can you believe I answered that?
Music question. All right, let's see who's on tonight, and let's share this so people can check in. Who's here tonight? Rye's here, Wendy's here. Hi, Colin. Happy Cinco de Mayo. See, these people have lived, well, maybe not Colin. He's from Pennsylvania. But Wendy and Ryan can tell you how San Diego celebrates Cinco de Mayo. All right, sharing. We're sharing on my other page. Skylar, what did you do today? Wow. We made
Really?
it. We did stuff. We did great stuff today.
So we made apple pie.
We did make a fresh apple pie. Very exciting. You can smell it. What did I tell you?
I woke up in the morning.
You woke up this morning. What happened last night?
Success. Sky, what happened last night? 2 nights in a row.
Crazy
weather 2 nights in a row.
That's right.
Thunderstorming. Well, last night was like not.
Crazy storms.
Not as bad.
And we feel super blessed and really lucky to have our power back on. Speaking of, there's someone at the door. Dad, I'm going to do this. I don't know how to get in.
Sure.
I don't know how to get in there. Woos.
You just got to do
He's
that.
helping me. He's helping me.
Yeah, I think, yep, here we go.
Maybe,
Yep, I got
possibly,
it.
maybe. Let me see if my friend's here. Let's see who's at the door.
And then we got to, that's just me.
Let's see.
Oh,
Maybe? Hello? Oh,
Yay!
yes, there we go. We have a friend here.
Oh,
Hi, Dave. If you can, you probably want to turn down the volume on your screen.
yeah, here we go. Okay, hold on, we'll wait.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Do that. Got it?
Right.
Yeah, make sure you turn down us live. We don't need too many Randys. There's way too many Randys.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, how are you?
Hold on.
Wait a second.
Hold on, we'll get it.
This is like going back to the future, to the back. This is crazy.
Volume on my screen. Okay, let me do that. I am so sorry.
No, that's okay. Or just click out of my live show. Yeah.
There you go. Gotcha. Is that better?
Not
No?
No,
Okay.
Facebook.
I'm so sorry.
Hold on, everybody.
This is fun. This
This
is like
is.
what it's like to be double live. I'm like double live. That might be it. Yes.
Maybe? No. No.
You just want to turn off Facebook. Like you want to click out of not the whole Facebook. Oh, that might be it. I think you did it.
Is that okay?
Yes,
Yes.
we got him.
Woo!
That was exciting. There were like 14 Daves and 15 Randys. I don't know. Hey, please welcome my friend Nathan, who was supposed to be on the show 2 nights ago when Nashville got struck with some pretty severe weather. And we were just ready to do a little sound check, and we text one another going, do you have power? And he's, no, we're out of power. We're out of power too. We're both really lucky that that our power is back. But it's nice to see you, friend. I'm glad you could join us.
Well, it's nice to see you too. I heard somebody say something about apple pie.
Yeah, yeah, we made an apple pie. It's smelling pretty good. It's downstairs. We're waiting for it. I mean, we're getting really creative these days, you know?
That's good.
Yeah. So tell our friends in Facebook land where you are calling in from. Where in Nashville are you?
I'm all the way over the next town over from you, Hermitage, Tennessee.
Yeah, that's right. So we're close enough that we could do this live if we could do it live and in person. Saturday night, actually, last Saturday, you and I were supposed to be doing a real-time songwriter circle, which I was super excited about at the Commodore, but we will reschedule. I know, we'll reschedule. So yeah, the weather's okay right now, so we're feeling really blessed. I know a lot of people got hit this time around harder than we did with hurricane force damages. So I'm glad you're safe, and this one's gonna happen, I know it. So tell our friends, so I know Dave from being a songwriter. That's what I know about him. Yeah. We met at a songwriter circle. Tell our audience a little bit of what you do, and we like to start off with what you were doing, what your day-to-day was kind of like before everything sort of stopped. What was that like?
I was working part-time at Ryman Auditorium.
Yes.
I got my Ryman shirt on. I don't know if you see it.
We see it.
Yeah. Well, I was a tour guide, and I also did some audio engineering. So.
Yes, amazing. And so very quickly you learned that live music events were stopping. Everything was stopping. So not just you as a songwriter, but also those shows. What was that like? What was that like when, did you think, that it would go on for a while? What was it like when they said, we're not returning for these shows? And for those of you watching out there that aren't familiar with the Ryman, it's one of the premier venues here in Nashville. It's very important to the city, beautiful venue. Tell us what you thought when it happened.
Oh, it's just tragic, And I so miss live entertainment. I really do.
Yeah.
Ryman's the mother church, and there's just so many great shows there.
Yes.
Shocking, but I understood.
Yeah, of course. Safety first. Yes,
Yeah.
Safety first. And, the Ryman also is a huge tourist attraction, and with people want to know about the history of music here, country music here, so that's shocking. And then also, you are a songwriter, obviously. That's how we met. And you also host a radio show. Is it a radio hour? Tell us a little bit about that.
I have a little radio show. It's on a couple of different stations. One's near St. Louis and the other's near Cleveland, Ohio. It's called Nashville Connection. And so I'm your, I tell you what's happening in Nashville. And we just talk music with the morning guys.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
So have you been doing it since this all started? Because that's more virtual.
Yeah.
And what have you been talking about now that the live scene is not happening, right? What have you been talking about?
There's still a lot of country music news, so we've been talking about what's happening in the Grand Ole Opry. The Grand Ole Opry is pretty amazing. 4,922 live performances on Saturday nights in a row.
Yes.
And just because they can't have an audience anymore doesn't mean that the show doesn't go on. It has to go on for radio.
Right.
So they're performing without an audience.
Yeah, I know, that's crazy, but I saw that was happening too, and that's just incredible. People are just getting creative, Music doesn't stop. It's just we've got to figure out different ways to do it. I'm so happy you're here with us tonight. Would you, I see, your hands are maybe on a guitar or some kind of an instrument there. Would you maybe share a song of your choosing for our audience? One of the great things about this time is we connect with people from all over, and they're able to hear new songwriters, new sounds from people they've never met before. And I'd love to share a little bit of what you do with my friends and fans.
Wow, thank you, Randy, for having me, and I would love to do that.
Awesome.
They always say that your favorite song is the one you just completed, right?
Yes.
So this is one I wrote with a good buddy of mine from Cincinnati named Grit. And he wanted to write a song for his daughter who is reaching a very milestone birthday this summer, and he wanted to write a song called Time Flies. This is what we came up with, okay? I know time doesn't seem to fly when you're in quarantine, but it still does.
Yeah.
But time flies. Ain't it funny how fast the moment it turned into years? But it seems like a day or two. I was just watching you crawling across the room, and I knew time would be so good to you. Time flies, but it'll pass you by in a blink of an eye. Yeah, sometimes you're caught in a moment and you don't even notice that's slipping by. In time heals, that's why they never last. But you can waste or spend your time, but you can't back it back. You couldn't clip its wings, even if you tried. Time flies. But time flies. Into the future, all I can see is the past. Remembering how it feels to take off your trainers, watching you going alone. My, how you have grown. Now I hear a baby all your own. Time flies, but you will pass you by in a blink of an eye. And sometimes you don't even know it, cause you're caught in the moment, but it's so nice. In time heals, the pain never lasts. You waste or spend your time, but you can't back it back. Couldn't flip its wings, even if you tried. Time flies. Tick tock, tick tock, goes faster every day. Every here and now, it's gonna fade away. Yeah. It's time flies, it'll pass you by in a blink of an eye. Sometimes you don't even know it, cause you're caught in the moment. Time heals, that's why pain never lasts. You can waste or spend your time, but you can't back it back. Couldn't flip its wings, even if you tried. Couldn't flip its wings, even if you tried. Time flies.
Yeah, beautiful song, my friend.
Thank you.
Because of the way that we do this, you know, sort of through the computer as a monitor, my husband as my cameraman, my daughter one, you can't really, you're just talking blind, you can't really see us, you can't see me, but I was sitting through that song with my daughter Skylar, my 7-year-old, and we were rocking back and forth. So I thought that was really fitting, thinking about those words, which you think about a lot. It's funny how you introduced it too, that time is not flying right now, but it'll go back to it, you know, so thank you for sharing. I was thinking too, I have to say it, I know you've heard this 1,000 times, but not only do you have just a lovely singing voice, but you have such a great radio voice. It does not surprise me. When you started talking today, I was like, oh yes, of course, that makes sense. Maybe I should let you do the intro. We need like a
voiceover.
A fancy written, and now
and
Randy's
now.
live.
Yeah.
Hey, could you say that? Could you just say, and now Randy's live for me?
Yeah.
Oh.
And now, Randy's live.
Oh, I like
yeah.
it. I like it. We might.
We recorded that.
We recorded that.
Oh, I love your show. I think you should have your own great time show.
Oh.
It's like Kelly Clarkson or something. You do such a wonderful job.
You're very sweet. Thank you. Well, like I've told people, it's a great pastime for our little family. We feel super blessed that we're able to and that we're healthy, you know. But it's also really nice for me because I was saying, you know, I've only lived in Nashville for about 2 years. And I met so many great people with all the great intentions of reconnecting, you know, and doing songwriter nights and writing together. And then, you know, we've been slowed down, if not stopped. So this is a nice way for me to check in and say, hey, we haven't forgotten about one another, you know, and we'll come out the other side. So you've seen the show, you know I asked some questions. When I have multiple guests on, I'm just going to ask you the big question. You can take it as light or as serious as you want, depending on what kind of mood you're in. But it's a good way for us to get perspective from all the different people that we interview all over the country. So what would you say you have learned from this experience, this time apart and away? What have you learned?
Besides the fact that my wife is a great cook.
Yeah!
And she's sitting right here. You know, I don't know. I think I've learned, hey, it's okay to let your hair grow. You might find curls that you didn't know you had.
You're right.
They're kind of cool. I've learned that music is essential for me. I have to have it.
Yes.
I went out and bought a turntable because I haven't had one in like 30 years.
Oh, I love that.
Started playing records again, and I love jazz music. My first job in radio was doing jazz.
Wow.
So I learned that Miles is cool, Coltrane is king, and it's okay to binge watch TV. So Bosch is the man. Okay? Two of the things I've learned.
That's great. Those are all really good ones.
And you know, most of all, I have to say that that nothing kills the human spirit, and we're getting through this thing, even though we're separately, we're getting through together. And I've learned that Zoom and FaceTime like this, these are things I never used to do before.
Right.
But now they're my friends,
Yeah.
and I love it. So
Oh.
that's probably the biggest thing.
That's really great perspective. Reconnecting with music that you love and that you've missed. I love that you ran out and got a turntable. Very, very cool. I'm going to bring my records over to you. And yes, I agree with you. Nothing kills the human spirit. So really, really good perspective. Thank you for being with us tonight. I'm so glad that the power stayed on and actually the sun's out in our part of town, right? So please stay safe. I know. Woo! We're so excited. So please stay safe. Take care of yourself. And when this is over, we will see one another out at a songwriter circle, at a songwriter night. We will share the stage and make music in person, okay?
That's great, Rand. Looking forward to it.
Yes,
Thank you again.
Me too. Beautiful song. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Woo! Don't I have the coolest friends? I've got great friends. That was Dave Minahan. He's clearly a radio host from that voice, you can tell. A songwriter that I met at a club here, and we just connected, and I just thought, you know, we'll do something again. We were scheduled to do this songwriter evening, and of course that didn't happen, but that's okay. Let's see who else is on. Jennifer Petralia is on in Boston, and I know she would want me to tell you that I spent a whole day years ago walking around to everybody in the greatest mood. She could probably tell you if I was living in New York or San Diego at the time, but I was wishing everybody that would listen to me a happy Cinco de Mayo person at Starbucks. And I was just in a great mood, and I felt like I love Cinco de Mayo. It's a nice celebration, and you feel like, you know, you want to just enjoy people's culture and couldn't understand why everyone was so crabby. And Jenny will tell you that the reason they were so crabby was because the 5th of March. It was the 5th of March. It wasn't the 5th of May. I was in the wrong month wishing people a
Trying to keep it steady.
It's true. She will tell you that. Even Scott is laughing, and I'm not entirely sure I was in the wrong month. Yeah. And on that
Hey!
note, someone at the door.
Still laughing.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Hey, it's 2 for Tuesday. That's right, friends. You get 2 guests this evening. Hi, my friend. How are you?
Hey, what's going on?
I am checking in with my buddy, J.D. Bouchard, and he's going to tell you hello and where he is calling in from.
I'm calling from San Diego. I just finished about 5 music lessons in a row, so I'm talking like a teacher for like the first 30 seconds. You gotta get over it. Sorry about that.
No, I really like it, actually. I'm going to act like a student, and I'm going to listen very carefully, and I'm going to expect a sticker at the end. Yes.
Okay.
So it's 2 for Tuesday. We're super fortunate. Actually, I know you were teaching, so you didn't get to see, but the friend that we checked in with was supposed to be on a couple nights ago, but our power went out here, so he was bummed. He got on tonight, but we're super excited to check in with you. I know JD from the songwriter scene in San Diego. Tell our friends out in Facebook land a little bit of what you were doing before all of this happened, before the shutdown. Tell us what was going on, like what what a normal day in your world looked like before this all happened.
I want to give a Randi Driscoll memory first. Can I do that?
Yeah, of course. Well, you can. It's live. Yeah.
So you and I shared a stage, I believe, only once.
Okay.
And, it was back in the probably early 2000s.
Okay.
And we played at Twigs.
Yes.
And there's just something about that show that I won't forget. It was such a fun show. There were people there. And what I remember, and I might get choked up because you know Johnny Chicolella.
Yes, I loved Johnny.
Yeah. And I remember we ended the show with you coming back on the piano and you guys playing In Your Eyes together.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do you remember when you guys used to do that Peter Gabriel song?
I remember it well. It is still to this day one of my favorite ways to end a show. And Johnny, who ran sound there, ran the door, kind of did everything, sort of managed the space. He was also a great piano player, and not many people knew this at all. So one day he just hopped up with me, and he sort of covered the bass end, and I sort of covered the top, and or we'd switch, and he'd cover the top, and we just kind of did this like really impromptu jam. That's a great memory, yes.
And I will never forget that. I love that, and it was just like this moment. It's one of those moments where you're performing, but you sit back and you just go, I love the magic of this moment.
Yes.
It was so cool.
Oh my gosh,
and
now I'm
Johnny
choked up.
passed away.
Yes, I know. I
What
know.
was it, maybe 3 years ago, something like that.
I was
heard about it
shocked.
on Facebook. I haven't seen him for a while,
Me
and
too.
my heart just broke. He was such a beautiful, loving soul, and man, I just miss him.
Yes,
You know?
I hear you, brother. I hear you. I heard it the same way. I was in shock. Exactly, secondhand, very shocking. But, well, tonight we're going to lift this evening up to Johnny. That sounds like a good thing to do.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. Let's do that. So before the quarantine and this COVID-19 hit,
Yeah.
I haven't been doing too many live shows. I played every weekend in San Diego for 15 years.
Yep.
Every Saturday night for 8 or 9 years in a row. And then I played every Sunday night at the Turf Club for 7 or 8 years in a row after that. And I got burned out.
Yep.
And so I'm a writer. I have a novel that I finished. I'm just starting another novel, and I have about 8 or 10 children's stories that I want to publish.
Wow.
But this kind of brought me kind of back out of performance hiding.
Yeah.
And I've been doing some live shows online, and it's been really fun.
They're super cool. And so you mentioned, obviously, you're an educator, and I know that too, and there are ways to do some virtual teaching, which I know you're doing too. But I did see you doing these concerts outside, and lots of people pulling up in their cars to listen and like drive-in JD gigs. I mean, that's got to feel pretty great.
It's fun because, obviously we want everybody to be safe, and any shows that we do, however we do them, we really want everybody to know that we're not saying screw the rules, we're going to do whatever we want. We're saying let's stay safe,
Yep.
and let's come up with safe and effective ways to get music out there. And so I started this thing called Porches and Balconies, where I would just play on someone's porch or play on someone's balcony, and we just told whoever showed up or walked by to just keep your space, stay safe, but enjoy the show. And I had about over 60 people in front of my house this last Sunday. And it was like I said in my post, it was like somewhere between a drive-in movie and what was the other thing? It was like a drive-in and I forget what the other thing that
Woodstock? Was it Woodstock? Because it seems like it could have been Woodstock.
No, and everybody's spread out, but it's like this. It's been really fun.
Yeah, look
and,
awesome.
Everybody's tailgate party. That's
Yes,
what it's
yes.
called. Everybody pulled up in their car. They put their tailgates down, and everybody was spread out. And it's so fun. It's been really, really fun.
Yeah, well, music lives on. We're finding new creative ways to do it, and I love that you found a way to share the experience with your neighbors and people outside safely. It's awesome. I love that. I love seeing that.
And you guys you're Facebook Live every single night. It's been like for 40 days.
Yeah,
40 days and 40 nights.
46.
It's
Yeah.
like the Great Flood.
Yeah. Kinda. Yes.
I think that's absolutely amazing. That's just absolutely amazing. I love that you're doing that. I love that you've got the tech support and that you guys have it dialed in. I just think that's beautiful.
We're trying. It started off as just like you, a nice way to reach out to the community, do a little sharing of information, like you do, and talking about things that are important and, staying safe. And then we just didn't stop. We kept going. But for us, it's such a blessing because the people that tune in from all over get to meet new artists. And you're one of those people. We have people on tonight from Wisconsin, Boston, Pennsylvania, and they might have never heard you. So I know a secret. I know that you're an awesome keyboard player, awesome keys player, and I think maybe somewhere in that room you've got something like a keyboard or piano. Would you play something for my audience right now? Would you give them a little something on what I know they'd love it if you would?
I'm gonna turn my fan off. Hold on.
Okay. That's right, because you sound nice.
I only got one fan here tonight, man. I don't think it's too much noise in the back. So this is a song I wrote a number of years ago, and I've just been playing it over and over again because a lot of people are struggling with depression, struggling with anxiety. I struggle with depression, and 7 weeks inside on my own. I haven't seen my daughter much at all in the last month, and so this is a song called "Love Is All There Is," and it's just a reminder that we're all in this together. This is called "Love Is All There Is." no greater love down here. Love is all. Love is all. Love is all. Oh, 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 yeah.
Yeah, brother! Woo! Oh, I love it. Man, you gave it to us. You got that Facebook? Look what you get here on a Tuesday. Amazing. I loved it. Oh, man. You know what? Let's promise one another that when this is over, we will find a way to do a show together in person somewhere on your coast or out here. But I would love that.
I would
really
love
like.
that.
Yeah, me too.
I've never been to Nashville, and actually, I have a plan to come out to Memphis in
Okay.
October. So,
Easy, 2
so
hours.
maybe we could do a little hop over.
I would love that. And one of the nice things about this time, even though it's been really difficult, is reconnecting with artists that I, just like you said, that I knew from the circuit, you know, different cities that I played in, and reconnecting with them and really getting to see their heart. And I mean, you know a little bit about me, so you know that that tune is right up my alley. I love it. I believe it. I know you believe it, and I could feel your passion when you sang it. So thank you for sharing that one, my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of love from San Diego here. You've got a bunch of San Diego people on. Liz from the Troubadour, Patrick's on, a bunch of people. So, okay, so I've been asking people the same questions, and I'm going to do the heavy one with you, just to get perspective from all over the world. You know what people are thinking through this time. So, what would you say if you could put it in a nutshell? What would you say you have learned from this time of social isolation? What have you learned?
Well, I think the biggest part for me, I don't think we've had an incident where truly everyone in the world was experiencing the same thing, obviously from different places.
Right.
I remember back to September 11, where
Right.
we were all brought together as a country,
Right.
and there were parts of that were international, but this is truly unprecedented in our lifetime. And so for me, bringing that back to kind of a local level, what has shown up for me is how can I help?
Yep.
And like you mentioned, being an artist that has lessons and can do lessons virtually, so far, at least financially, I've been relatively unscathed. But man, a lot of our musician friends are really, really struggling.
True.
And my friend Christopher Dale just went out and he just started a tour that he'd set up, for 4 months, and just had to come home, whole tour canceled. And his story certainly isn't a rare one right now. So I've kind of turned my attention on how I can help artists who are struggling. I've been just giving my tips, whatever I'm making tips. I've just been turning around and giving it to local artists that are struggling, that don't have gigs. And right now I'm looking for individuals and businesses that that haven't been hit so hard, who might be willing to sponsor a local artist for we're saying like a 3-month period, and hopefully with an option to renew. So I'm starting to reach out to the community right now and say, who wants that to help out so that creative people don't sink in this process.
I love that, and that's one of the reasons we connected here on Facebook again, was I was watching all of this really beautiful stuff you're doing, and so I appreciate you saying that. I really do. Just an artist doing good. And I'm glad you're healthy, and I saw that great picture of you with that cool mask and that cute dog, and I had to use it for the poster.
The dog.
It was such a great message. I know he came to your gig, right? Didn't he, or something?
Yeah, so his mom was there, and I see this dog that's like the size of my phone. And I was like, and she was kind of sitting there shivering, and I'm like, I know how you feel. Just come here.
Yeah.
And I got my first hug in like a month and a half.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
I feel you, brother. And you're wearing your super cool mask, too, so I love that. Hey, well, you're a real shining light, and I'm glad that you're here. And I forgot to mention this with Dave, but if you would, please, I know you're paying it forward, but put some links in the comments before we check out tonight on Facebook, where people can find you. I know people are loving what you played, where they can find you if they want to support you, or if they just want to follow what you're doing to support other artists. If your music's on like iTunes, where's the best place to find you? Give us a link. Would it be like?
So I'm a horrible self-promoter. I always have been. I think on Spotify, I think I have like 2 listeners or something like that. So you can find Spotify and some of the name Papa Hoodlum because Papa Hoodlum or Papa Hoodlum and the Hard Truth is how I record. But you can find me as JD Bouchard on Facebook.
Cool.
And if anybody is interested in helping out the local San Diego community and the creative artists here, just please send me a message on Facebook. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me. And hopefully through this time, I can work on the art of self-promotion and figure out how much better I can get, hopefully, at getting whatever message I want to get out.
I bet you after tonight you're going to have a solid 15 fans on there. I'm feeling good about that. That's my promise to you. 15 followers on Spotify. Come on, double digits.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
honestly though, you were great. You sounded great. Your playing is just killer. Your song was beautiful, and I'm really happy we reconnected. I will make sure everybody knows about you, and I'll put you in all the YouTube links and stuff. And then, of course, what you're doing to help other artists, we will help you pay it forward because it's like really beautiful and it's really needed. So thank you for being that person.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Do we have time for one other plug?
Yeah, plug. Go ahead. Why not? It's Giving Tuesday. Plug.
Yeah. So I put out a song and a video. I released a single in September called Femina, and it's a song about a woman who's struggling about whether or not to talk about her sexual assault.
Okay.
And it's up on YouTube. The video is out there. We also released a single at the same time called All, and we were supposed to record the video, film the video this spring, and obviously that's not happening. But Femina and All were the 2 singles that we recorded last fall. Check them out. Femina is beautiful. It was filmed by Christy Walker and Carlos Sanchez. It's dedicated to my mom, who was sexually assaulted and told no one for 40 years.
Whoa.
And so please put that out there, check it out, like it. That's also on Spotify too under Papa Hoodlum.
We will. Beautiful. Oh, you're sharing your heart tonight, brother. Absolutely. We'll make sure those links get in below and on YouTube when people watch this again tomorrow or later tonight. Well, thank you for using your music the right way. We love it. I'm happy that we're friends. You stay safe. Tell us when your next tailgate party is, because I want to watch if I can on Facebook.
Every Sunday at 6 p.m. We're going to be on, this Sunday we're going to be at the Hawthorne Inn, which is at First and Hawthorne.
Cool. Yeah,
It will be on Facebook Live. It's going to be a blast.
I love it. There you go. All right, we'll be there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great
Thanks,
night,
you guys.
okay?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah, good night, friend. I mean, come on, right? That's it's no shocker that he's our people, right? That Twig story really got to me too. We hadn't connected with him in a long time, and he's doing really sweet stuff on Facebook. And I just scrolled through and I saw that he was just giving. And his own personal story is incredible. So follow him. That's my friend JD. So thank you to Dave. JD, if you're still watching, we're going to be on for 2 more minutes, I think, here tonight. So put your links in the comments so that people can find you below, and link anything you want where your music is. Again, that was Dave Lenahan and JD Bouchard. So just a couple quick things before we say goodnight. Today is Giving Tuesday Now, which I just learned about actually earlier this week. Giving Tuesday usually happens in, I guess it's November, sometime around or after Thanksgiving, where you are called to acknowledge and contribute to charities. And we say this every night because we try to highlight charities as much as we can, and nonprofits and people, local charities, small organizations that are doing good things. And we make it really clear that, like we just spoke about, a lot of people are out of work right now. And the last thing you sort of want to hear about is an ask. So what we like to say is that this might not be a good time for your family. It might not be a good time for you to even give $1 because you're just, hoping you can get to the next paycheck, or maybe your stimulus didn't come, or your unemployment didn't come, or a lot of people haven't gotten anything, haven't been able to. Some people are working and having a hard time and aren't eligible. We feel that. I like to look at these kinds of days like today, Giving Tuesday Now, as a chance to highlight charities, to say if you're able, if you're one of the lucky people, like he was talking about, JD, who can give a few dollars, that's super appreciated because a lot of these nonprofits are suffering. And if you're not, put a pin in it and maybe just think about the good work that they're doing, and somewhere down the road, if you're able, or just tell someone about the charity. That's nice to just share people doing good things. There are so many nonprofits that we love. We've highlighted many of them. Go to my YouTube page. Please subscribe if you can. And which is really just click that red button. Doesn't cost a dime. Subscribe, and then you can watch the entire playlist of the 40. What is it, Skybeam? 46. 46 episodes we've done,
About to be
and
47.
about to be 47. And you can see all of the different charities that we've highlighted. But anyway, today is Giving Tuesday now, and so I did a telethon this morning for Campus Pride. That's right, I did a telethon, and it was amazing. That's on my Facebook page. Obviously, posts came out today about the Matthew Shepard Foundation, a charity I've worked with for decades. They do wonderful work, both organizations, end bullying and end hatred, and support love. They're important, obviously. Arch, which I've been working with for years and years, and so many more. So if you want to find out some of the charities that mean a lot to us, you can go back and look at all of the places giving food to the homeless, taking care of the animals, food banks. We've been trying to highlight some of them. So that's something you can do today. Just look around and see places that need something. And if you're not able to give, then maybe just send some good energy to them and say thank you. So that was something I did today. We're hoping the power stays on tonight because we had a crazy 2 nights here in Nashville. Big love to my friends who lost power. Right down the street, people don't have power and have been told that they're not going to have it for like 2 weeks. So, woo! I know Daddy's happy we have power because it gets so hot in this music room. He's ready to run outside and turn the air conditioner on. So I'm just going to say goodnight. Oh, so many nice people on tonight from all over. Yes, yes. Oh, so sweet. Thank you, Rochelle, for that donation. Okay, that's it. So look for my friends. Come on over here, girl. And what do we want to say to our friends out there? Your vibe attracts your tribe, and we
love our tribe.
Yeah, she's got it. I know, that became a thing. We love it. Thanks for being here tonight. We will see you tomorrow.
47th.
The 47th. With women we love. Oh.